Hi, this is Imrana Ali coming to you from Urban Living. Today's guest is Alisa Purinson. She is a student of the arts, and I'd like to thank you for being with us today, Miss Alicia. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thank you. And I'd like to ask you, what are some of the projects that you're working on these days?
I work at Philly Cam as a co-op. I've been here for a couple of months. I've been working a lot on live television. I've been working as a technical director on a show about poetry called Philly Loves Poetry in partnership with Moonstone. I just finished directing my senior project. Um, it's a film about jazz. I'm really into poetry and jazz. Um, yeah, and I'm going home soon to visit my family, so I'm hoping to make a little documentary out of my trip too.
All right. Can you explain something to me? I wanted to know what is the difference between a video and a film? I
Well,
mean, yeah, I have a difficult time understanding that.
I think it what the person who's making the film or video puts into it. To me, a film is something um, that you probably make with people. You put some intention behind it. However, you can do it with a video too. I think the line between a video and a film is blurred these days with social media. I think previously, even 30, 40 years ago, you needed to have a lot of resources to make a film.
Okay.
And right now, all you need is your phone, a recording device,
Hmm.
and a couple of people to help you.
Yeah, but in my mind, it seems like even though it's a lot simpler, I thought that still is a video and a film is a film, and there was some element, some that's a bad word, some aspect of a director's vision for the
Yeah.
film that makes it different than because the reason why I said that is because I can make a 30-minute segment myself, but even if I extend it to the size of a short uh, film, I don't
Mhm.
feel as though it's a film. It's just a longer video. So, I know you need actors. I guess you need actors.
Mhm.
And I guess all those other things, an actor, a plot, a
Yeah.
theme, and bringing all those things together. It's a lot more. Uh, it's a, I guess it's a 30 minutes. Now that I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
I can see where that's the difference between a 30-minute segment and a film. It's a lot more of everything.
Yeah, I guess it's a different mediums, right? Um, if we talk about a news segment, for example, I wouldn't call it a film. A film is something I would con- consider if it like if the medium has a story, if there is something that the creator put behind it, there is either fictional or if we're talking about a documentary film, there's an intention that they put into this film and we see it from their point of view. We see their creative side. We see their vision coming through and the message coming through the film.
Hmm. Hmm. Because I think I would like to do a documentary would be easy, but a film I'm not a real avid reader. I read certain types of things, but I'm not really well read. I don't. It's I don't really take a lot of time to read literature, and I never liked that. My mother tried to get me in a book club when I was younger,
Hmm.
and I read some books. And I spent a lot of time. I read textbooks, so that kind of um, put a damper on my desire to read books. I get bored with them, but I don't now. I don't have that reservoir of creativity to project into a film. It's not there. It's just some black and white basic type of stuff. It's not anything artsy or real creative. What do you have? You like literature. Who are some of your favorite writers?
I really like Russian literature. I'm from Russia.
Uh,
I'm a big fan of Mikhail Bulgakov and Joseph Brodsky. I I like both fictional literature and poetry. Both of those mediums are really important to me. I think they go hand in hand. I don't believe that you can just read novels and completely disregard literature. I think both of those art forms are very important to know and to become familiar with. Um, so yes, I'm a big fan of reading. I really like
what did you like about? I didn't mean to cut you off. What is it about those artists that you liked the most, and what stood out about them? What grabbed your attention?
mhm. I think first of all of them were really political, and the regime that they lived in was was not treating them fairly. But instead of trying to knowingly in Soviet Union, if you speak up against the regime, sooner or later you're gonna either get jailed or murdered or sent
But
somewhere very far away.
these artists, in their writings, what did they do?
They were calling out the regime through metaphors. They were using symbolism to tell the people who can read, because a lot of people also couldn't read in Russia. Um, they they were they were the literature that was given to people, just or like people who were just learning how to read. They were learning how to read by these books, and while they were reading these books, they were understanding that the government might not be as truthful.
So these are your art. These are
Yeah.
the artists you've already read them. All right. I don't want to sound ignorant, but what's the difference between a novel and literature? I don't know. Is
I don't
literature
think.
make it a classical? Is that like the Iliad or something? Or
I mean, I think a novel is just a genre of fictional literature. Um, a novel is is what I consider a story with a book, a piece of literature with a romantic storyline, and a lot of um, Russian literature has a love story in it,
oh,
even though even though most of them are political. Love and freedom kind of go together
hmm,
in literature that I'm used to reading.
okay, okay, all right, okay. And you like poetry?
I do.
And who are some of your favorite poets?
I really like Vladimir Mayakovsky, Joseph Brodsky, uh, Osip Mandelstam. All of them had been repressed by the government, um, but they still were getting tribunes of people coming to see them recite their poetry, and a lot of a lot of people would learn their poetry by heart because those some of those poets couldn't publish them.
Oh, okay, okay. We have a lady here in the United States. We talked before.
Hmm.
Um, who is like I have a lot of admiration for her, Condoleezza Rice.
Yes.
I don't know why she came to my attention, but I don't know how I stumbled on the fact that she spoke Russian, and she also just so happened to become Secretary of State. Well, I don't know if she's appointed under the Bush um, era
Administration.
and Colin Powell, and she spoke a second. She spoke another language, and that language was Russian. And also, she as a young lady, I guess around your age, she went to Russia. hmm And then later, as she became an adult, she went to Russia again as a member of a dignitary, an official of the United States government. And I just wondered if her ability to speak a language was the real catalyst that propelled her career in the direction that she wanted it to go. And it was really funny because I thought, because when I was younger, like you, they would tell us that you should be able, one should be able to speak a second French or Spanish or something. That it was just good. It was just a way to broaden your horizon. But I would never have thought Russian.
Yeah.
I would have thought my being who I was. That I know I would have said French.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I mean, you're surprised at the things that are interesting to a person. Because, Uncle used to say, everybody is a world unto themselves, a universe
Yeah.
unto themselves. So when I saw that she had spoke Russian, I said, I would have never guessed. Even if I was doing the correct thing to pick up another language. And I said all that to say that I'm very proud that you can speak two languages.
Thank you.
That's a very English is it's a difficult language grammatically because it's not it has so many unique nuances in it. The rules are all over the place. So it's a difficult language to learn. I how did you learn to speak a second language?
I learned it in school.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
My parents wanted me, they encouraged me to learn a second language.
Oh,
And it so happened that English is one of the most widely spoken languages around the world. I wish I could be as unique as Condoleezza Rice and choose a language um,
mhm, mhm.
that is more niche. But I was thinking of moving somewhere. I always wanted to be a filmmaker. So learning English and eventually moving to America was only natural for me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I wanted to also I wanted once upon a time I wanted to go to Europe and ride the rails. They used to tell us that you could ride the rails in Europe. And it was just such a wonderful experience. But like the school abroad basically is the same idea.
Hmm.
But she has a very she has from what I understand she has a very good reputation. She did pretty well in the government,
Hmm.
and she was able to get through government relatively unscathed without what you call any type of scandal.
Hmm.
She always kept her poised. She was very well
Yeah.
spoken. So they have audio. I told you I was a lazy reader, but now they have audiobooks.
Yeah.
So I listen to those and I listen to hers.
Yeah.
I picked up the one she has. She has several out,
Yeah.
and I chose to listen to that. So on my spare time, other than TV, I never really liked TV too much, but I will listen to the audiobooks.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's
So,
wonderful.
well, tell me about Russia. How is it growing up there? I know you miss home. You were saying you're going to go home because you miss it. You miss
Yeah.
what's the most? What are you looking forward to going home?
It's funny. I haven't been home in a while, and even yesterday, this is such a small thing, but somebody was eating like little tangerines in a hallway, and it smelled like tangerines. And in Russia, on New Year's, there's a tradition that we all eat tangerines, and that scent itself brings me back to a time. New Year's, Christmas. It's usually a very fairy tale-ish period of the year, and I teared up, and I was at work. It's just the small things. I really enjoy my time in America, but like sometimes I smell a scent that I only have smelt back home.
It's no place like home.
There's no place like home, even though my life here is good,
Hmm.
and I have a great community around me and great friends. They're just intangible things that I can't replace.
Now, speaking of home, I grew up right down the street, right there. If you walk a few blocks on 7th Street towards Dunkin' Donuts,
Hmm.
that's where I grew up as a child.
Wow.
And that neighborhood is a congom a neighborhood of different cultures, including um, immigrants from Russia.
Wow.
I never really paid it any attention growing up. Only thing I paid attention was how peaceful, for lack of a better word, and how happy. Because my mother used to say to me, she used to say, "I had a wonderful childhood, and I trying to give you a wonderful childhood." So, yeah, and so we had children on the block, and just it's almost like fairy tale. I could go into stories, and um, sitting in a backdrop to that, we have a large. Well, we have it's a big um, Ukrainian
Hmm.
community,
Yeah.
and Eastern Orthodox
Yeah.
Russian. But I stayed. Of course, we were poor and Baptists, and so we all had one group checks another. So I didn't go when they had in their community. It was actually gated, so the boys would come and play. They were from somewhere else.
Okay.
They were some distant place. That's my assumption, and the place was gated,
Okay.
and not in an offensive way, but they were, we never went across the gate,
Okay.
and they never came over. You never seen them take the soccer ball and come and
Yeah.
play it on a block,
Yeah.
and there wasn't any guard there to
Hmm.
say you must not,
Yeah.
and if you do or else.
Yeah.
But we just were in our own little
Block.
blocks, and
Yeah.
I was happy. And to me, my block was the only thing that mattered.
Yeah.
But I remember looking across the street and seeing this um, gated
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
where they stayed. Everybody stayed in there. I can't explain it other than to say it was a piece of land where people stayed in their own area,
Yeah.
but it wasn't offensive.
Yeah.
It was never.
It's interesting that you mention it because that's I think one of the first things I noticed about America when I moved here and saw the suburbs. And also I saw it in movies, but I guess I never paid attention to it. There are no gates, there are no fences in the suburbs. Everybody just like can walk over each other's lawns. And gated communities in America are something that it's mostly like rich people do.
Hmm.
Like you have to be
Of
extremely
means.
wealthy.
Hmm. Hmm.
In where I grew up in Tatarstan in Russia, there is no such thing as not having a gate.
Oh.
Everybody has a fence around their house, no matter how big, no matter how small. Most of the people have guarding dogs, and it's not that they're aggressive, but you want
That's
to.
best.
It's best to keep your house guarded
It's amazing.
in case they're kids. You don't know what is going on in somebody's garden. You don't know if their dog is aggressive,
Hmm.
so you keep a fence.
Hmm.
And this way, you just get some kind of privacy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting because if I were to live, I obviously I live in Philly, so this is not a thing here. But if I were to live in the suburbs, I don't know how I would adjust to the fact that there is like no privacy, and if I'm gardening, everybody
Uh,
can see what I'm
yeah.
doing.
Yeah. 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 Well, I understand that. Now that have a more global society,
Yeah.
I don't know how more global we are, but it seems like the world is becoming a smaller place, and
Yes.
people are a lot more aware of one another's presence. And I wonder which way the pendulum will swing in terms of,
Yeah.
well, we have more gated communities. I know in Atlanta, um, they have gated here and there. You'll see gated,
Mhm.
not often, but sometimes it just depends on if the
Yeah.
developer at the time feels like he can add this amenity of more security.
Oh, okay. I think I misunderstood you actually. Because when I say gated, I don't mean like when you have to enter the community. I mean like a fence around each house.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what I meant.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So when you say gated, you mean like a car, when a car wants to drive by, they have to like pass a security check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I misunderstood
No,
you.
no, no. It's different levels, different
Yeah.
types of gated communities.
Mhm.
Um, and then I remember this one incident, the church,
Mhm.
and they had the gate had these beam bars, and on top of the bars were arrows, and it was metal.
Yeah.
So you have like a one bar, and there'd be a small space, no more than an inch,
Mhm.
in between them, all the way around the church, and weren't supposed to be in the church. So for whatever reason, we went and into the church, and I turned around, and this big greyhound dog was chasing us. Now I don't know if he was chasing us affectionately or what, but adrenaline instinct took over. We had to get over that gate. We were small,
Oh.
but you know, I got great. Guiding the providence was spared us. So I don't play with greyhounds or other people's gates.